Hello.
Hey guys.
Hello. Boom.
Why you not saying anything though? Again?
Yeah.
So, I'm Teresa.
And I'm Ike, and together we are Iykeresa, of course. For those of you that are just joining us and don't know that, we are Iykeresa
Yes.
from the Ultimate Love Show. Today we are going to be bringing a brand builder on our live. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you guys. We see you.
Thank you. Is it clear enough? Because I'm seeing people saying it's not clear.
Okay.
This is what it's doing.
No. Allow it, because we gotta save it. Hey guys.
Okay, we're back.
Network must be very, very good now.
Is it better now?
It must be. It must be.
Okay, so back to what I was saying. I was appreciating you guys for always trying to come on Insta Live. We know it's not easy getting MB, having money to buy airtime and all of that. It's not easy. We know that. So, guys, thank you so much for trying, for supporting. We are grateful.
Yeah, we're very grateful.
Before our guest comes in, how was your day? Want to know how the day went? For us, we've been home as usual.
Indoors.
Because, it's quarantine.
It's quarantine, baby.
So, been home, doing a lot of mental work to try and bring up things we can do to keep everybody, in touch with us. Yeah, so that's how our day went.
Yeah.
How was your day?
Tell us what's going on now. What's happening? Let us see what's going on with you guys in the comment section before we finally bring in our guest, which is the Chill. Yeah, if you're live with us, you could just give us a wave so we can call you guys, or call you rather.
Yeah. And I actually want to use this opportunity to appreciate Brand Cupid. Today is actually their wedding anniversary.
Oh, are you serious?
Yes.
So congrats, guys. Happy anniversary.
Yes,
Happy anniversary.
They're actually one of our major supporters.
No, everyone is our major supporter.
That's why I said one of. I didn't say
yes.
I said one of. We know we have a lot. Everyone actually. But they, in their own way, try as much as possible in South Africa to make sure that our names are heard and they're helping us out.
Yeah.
All those contents you guys see most of the time is Brand Cupid. So, happy anniversary, guys.
Happy anniversary, guys.
And let love continue to lead.
Amen. So we're about to welcome in the Chill, the brand maker, a brand builder. Yeah.
Hello.
Hey. Good evening.
How you guys doing?
Yeah, we're doing awesome. We're doing good. Finally.
You guys look amazing together.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So what's up? What's going on? How's the weekend going for you guys?
Every day is weekend at this point.
Because of quarantine.
Yeah. So we were previously on a show, on a reality show. Yeah. And immediately we came out from the reality show, we went back into lockdown. So we haven't really had that much time to get in touch with the reality of things. We just seen it from a distance, So that's what's up. Yeah. It was just a normal day. Wake up, you eat, exercise if you must, pray, write some things down.
You didn't mention the food part though.
The food, that one is a given. It's a necessity. Sometimes you don't even have to mention it. It's you can't survive without food now.
Yeah, he's a foodie actually.
I'm a very big foodie. A big one.
Definitely, you should come for one of our hangouts. We usually would have hangouts every month, but definitely after COVID. Yeah, we try out different places. Lagos Foodie Association. It's always fun. Always fun.
Oh, nice. I will definitely oblige and come for the next one.
We'll be there.
Yeah, live and direct.
Okay.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So how's your quarantine going?
To be honest, it's a new norm that I'm still trying to adjust to because I'm more of an outdoor person. So having to deal with this level of closure, it's a big problem, you know, but every day I just try as much as possible to challenge myself, do something new, learn a new skill. I've been trying to cook a lot. Hopefully, thankfully, I haven't burnt down the house yet, so I guess I'm doing well.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's because I'm all by myself. It's a little bit. It has its moments where it feels like it's a repeat. There's a circle. I keep doing the same thing over and over
Like
again.
you're stuck in a rut.
Yeah, but in a way that routine kind of helps me. You know, it kind of helps me go through the day. You know, so I try as much as possible to allocate time slots where I need to do certain stuff. So that works for me.
Okay, so you've been at home the whole time.
The whole time, my brother. The whole time.
Alone.
The whole time. Alone.
Wow.
At least you guys are lucky. You have your company to each other. So I'm kind of jealous. You know, I'm kind of jealous. You know, because you guys are pretty much. You guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
You guys literally have the opportunity to, you know, keep each other company.
Yes.
So
we do.
I guess that's the part that I miss.
Aw, don't worry.
The lockdown will be over soon.
And you'll be with me.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
Amen to that.
Oh, it's okay. So nice to have you, and I'm sure the viewers are excited to have you. As well.
Yeah.
So
it's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you.
Okay, so basically, let me just get right to it. I know a couple of questions. A lot of people would have a couple of questions during the process. I'll try as much as possible to make it as engaging as I can. So basically,
I think you should like try and reintroduce yourself for the people that are just joining us.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay, sure. So my name is Edache Obe. I'm the founder CEO of Dacho Media and Branding, also the founder of Lagos Foodie Association. I'm a digital marketing strategist. I'm a PR professional as well. I'm also a certified Facebook trainer as well. So basically, I have a company that we do campaigns. We do push out campaigns for brands. We also help SMEs, business owners, organizations, and companies to grow their businesses, right? And we do that using not just online digital platforms. We also do traditional online and traditional media as well. But our core and specialty is centered around the digital realm, meaning we literally would help brands and organizations push out their products, push out their brands to a certain target market that they feel will be able to buy whatever product they have or engage with the brand in the level that they would want to have them on. You know, so basically, in a nutshell, that's what I do. For the Lagos Foodies Association, there's a community as well. We try as much as possible to bring out foodies like me, and we try to have meaningful connections where we try out different places in Lagos and try as much as possible to have fun at a discounted rate, because most of the restaurants there will literally beg us to come because it's an avenue for them to have a crowd and also create some level of brand awareness for them as well. So aside the food part, you know, the Lagos Foodie Association is a platform where different people can connect, have a good time, engage each other, and, you know, enjoy good food.
Nice.
Very
Wow. We'll definitely work with you.
We'll work with you on that
We'll
one.
work with
Especially
you.
the food part.
Yeah, and the
No
brand
problem.
building part, because we actually have things we want to drop, we want to bring
yes.
out.
Okay.
So definitely need your assistance, right?
That's right.
No problem. Fully on ground for you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, so back to what we wanted to do.
Yeah, discuss.
Yeah.
Okay, so are you guys going to ask me any question, or I just roll along?
No, just roll them.
Just roll along. Like, some people don't really know how important brand building is, so we just want to give them that education.
Okay, so I'll go right into it. So first of all, we have a lot of people out there who are business owners, We have a lot of people who have a personal brand that they want to push out there. Now, it's important that for everybody that is interested in either making an income or growing a business, they need to realize that it's not just word of mouth. There are certain things that they need to put into place. And part of those things are what I'll be sharing with you. And because of the recent happenings with COVID-19, a lot of things are going to change, meaning the way business as usual will change from now on, meaning the new norm will be for platforms to be able to engage on the digital platforms that we have available, from Instagram to Facebook to YouTube to Twitter to, you name it. So for every business or brand out there, they need to consciously factor in these platforms to be able to ensure that their businesses or their platforms or their brand is being represented accordingly. Now, first thing from the top of my mind I can think of that would come to anybody willing to push out their brand and grow their brand is to be consistent on social media platforms. Now, consistency here, so that's the first thing I'll quickly touch on. Now, consistency here when building a brand is important because brands are not built overnight, right? And a lot of people need to understand that if you're building a brand, you can't wake up today and say, oh, you feel energetic, you're happy, so you're going to share content on your platform. And then the next day you say, no, I'm not in the mood to post anything. I'm tired. I'm going to take a leave from that. If you do that, you're breaking out the consistency level, and then potential clients or potential customers that will be looking for the services you have will literally have to go somewhere else to find it. So for me, for the first point, I would want to say you have to be consistent, and not just on one platform, because to be honest, today Instagram can decide to pack up. Tomorrow, Twitter might decide to pack up. So for anybody pushing out a brand and building a brand, it's important that across all the social media platforms available, you must have some level of presence there. It might not be where you make the most of your conversions, meaning where you make most of your sales, but it's also very important that you have a legitimate presence in those platforms. The second thing I'll quickly want to touch on from the top of my mind as well would be having a proper logo related to. So if you're a business or a brand that you want people to easily recognize you once they see it, you must have a logo that would represent what you're about. Now, if you're a personal brand, maybe like me, for instance, and you know that you're into maybe motivational speaking, or you have certain things that you push out there, I don't expect that your logo would be, something unrelated to what you're talking about. But for business brands, you need to have a logo that literally sells, or give people an idea of what you're doing from the top of the mind. Another thing I need to also point out is you need to also have a voice and a style for your brand. Excuse me. Okay. And having a voice and style for your brand really goes a long way, because a lot of people have that misconception that once they have a brand out there and they're trying to build it, are they putting out the right kind of information about their brand that will get people to understand them, that will get their target audience to relate to them? There are different kind of demographics, meaning your audience might be different from what you're putting out there. And if people cannot recognize or identify with your voice or what you push out there, there's going to be a huge divide. So you need to have a voice that sends out a clear message of what you're selling. And this can come in line with the tone you put out. Be clear to your followers on what and how you sell, and communicate certain things to them, because it goes a long way to convert those people to actual buying customers. You also need to mind the kind of language you put out there. Now, the clients or your demographics might be the young and maybe really, automobile people. The way you talk to them or the way you respond to this audience will be totally different from a very, very formal clientele. Now, I don't expect you to, if you're into a serious line of business and then your language shows, hey, what's up? You're trying to be very informal. A lot of brands like that wouldn't take you seriously because you're not speaking the language that they understand. And then another thing is, for everybody trying to build a brand out there, you must have a purpose, meaning identify the main reason why your brand is on social media. Now, not everybody will sell on social media, right? But some people are there because they know they need that brand visibility for their brands. And some people would actually sell on social media because they have a business to consumer relationship. They know that people can instantly reach out to them. So for every brand that is out there you're trying to build, you need to be very clear as to what is the purpose of you being on social media. Like for instance, Rolls Royce. A lot of potential clients might not be on Instagram, for instance, but Rolls Royce has a very huge platform on Instagram. And what is that so? Because they know that they need that brand awareness that would consistently leave people thinking, oh, okay, this is a very nice ride. They know that the kids of the richest people are on social media. They would see those cars, it would resonate on their memory. They'll tell their dad, they'll tell whoever and say, oh, this is the latest. That way, they've been able to translate that information to the final consumer that would buy their product. But if you tell Rolls-Royce, are they selling off directly from their social media platform? The answer might likely be no. And then the next thing I want to quickly also hammer on is we have a lot of people that come online and their page or their platform sounds very bot-like, meaning it sounds like it's robot that is running that platform, whereby there's certain posts, there's no human touch to it. So what you see here is people come on their page, the way they write, the way that there is no level of human engagement. And a lot of people trying to build their brands out there in this COVID-19, they need to be more humane. They need to be able to understand that human beings relate to human beings. So as much as you're trying to be very professional, let your platform be more humane so that people can easily relate to what you're putting out there. And then we talk about quick plug-in and start conversing, meaning we've gotten to the point where you just don't plug in here, and expect it to turn into sales. So for people building a brand right now, you need to be able to actively converse with your audience. And how do you do that? You need to open up conversations on your page, on your platforms, and ask questions that would give them a very, very targeted or direct engagement level with you, meaning an open-ended question regarding the kind of products and services you have. Because what you would do is you'll see that people can easily now talk to you, they can relate to what you're putting out there, and that drives off engagement on your platform. The next thing I would also talk on is have a compelling story. Nigerians, people around the world, they love stories. So if your storytelling pattern is good when you're trying to build your brand, you might not have a lot of followers just yet. You might not have 1,000, 2,000, 10,000 followers. But with 5 people, for instance, if you have 10 people following you, right, and you can tell them the story of how your brand is starting out, give them real life or behind the scenes setup, how you started, they can want to listen. And by doing that, you can organically get them interested in the kind of services you have. And what that would transform to is going forward, you have more people coming to subscribe to you. I'll give you an example. So I have one of the clients that usually would push. They're called Aurelia's Basket, right? And the funny story behind this is when they started, they're a luxury brand, but they deal with very targeted trays, luxury trays. Maybe I'll send one of them to you guys very soon. So they have this very, very spectacular setup where they would have the pancakes or the waffles, but it was not about the food, right? It was about the luxury setup about it. So when they started business initially, they wouldn't sell even up to 1-2 trays in a month. But because we were able to identify who their audiences were, we were able to set out and target people that once they saw the kind of products they had, they were able to jump on the wagon and say, you know what, I want to try this. An example again is when they started initially, right, they didn't have a lot of followers, right? But they were able to tell their story. They were able to go online, put out content that would reflect where they were coming from. And that's what the problem with a lot of people starting brands or trying to build brands are missing out. They leave out that story aspect and just feel that it would grow overnight. No, you have to go through the process because it would help you engage future potential clients. And the next thing I'll talk on as well is be transparent. A lot of businesses in Nigeria, to be honest, where they can be very dodgy. They're not transparent in their dealings, you know. And if you're as a brand trying to grow, you need to take out time, be transparent in your dealings, come off as the kind of brand that people would trust. You know, trust is earned, but you don't. Sorry about that. I think
no, it's work.
I had an incoming call. You know, trust is earned. So because of that, you take
incoming call. Yeah, we can hear you.
We can.
Okay, so you need to take out time to build that trust with your clientele, and that can only happen, for instance, when they've seen testimonials. For instance, they've seen how you've delivered service, they've seen how you've rendered products to your end users, and based on that, you can grow an organic followership that will get people interested in your products. Another thing I'll quickly point on as well, which is also very, very important for people trying to build a brand, is you need to post relevant content. Now, I don't expect you to just wake up one morning, today you feel in the mood to post something that is unrelated to your brand, and then tomorrow you feel, oh, I'll post this, next week I'll post this. No, you need to post relevant content that people can literally relate to, because what that would do is it would build your page. It will be able to showcase the kind of brand that you are about, and it will help you get genuine or organic followers that would buy the product. So I had a session one time when I was in Ghana, and I was talking to a class, right? And they were telling me, oh, I had one person had 500 followers, and the other person had 10,000 followers. And I asked them that which would you prefer, 500 followers of people that would buy what you're selling, or 10,000 followers that you're not making actual sales? And they all agree that they would rather have 500 followers than have 10,000 non-buying customers. And I told them, yes, because if you have 500 followers, right, and you're posting relevant content that they can relate to, those 500 followers will share across their platforms to other people who are following them. So before you know it, you're going to get potential customers from their own referrals. And before you know it, your small business is no longer small. I've told people as well that business is not small. Don't call yourself small, because at the end of the day, you're a business. And as a business, it means that people are buying what you're selling. And what will happen invariably is your business will grow, because there's no way, if you're doing the right things, posting the right kind of content, you're consistent, that people will not see what you're doing. Now, every day we have over 90 million contents that are being shared across all these platforms. What would happen is someone in the US is posting, someone in Nigeria, in Lagos is posting, Tunde Ednot is posting, Instablog is posting. So what we have here is we have a huge data in terms of content that is being pushed out to everybody to ingest. Now, the only way the algorithm will favor for people is if people can relate to the contents you push out. So the Instagram algorithm will pick it and say, okay, a lot of people are engaging with this content, so yes, it's not a dummy content, it's not something irrelevant. So what will happen is it would push up the relevant score for those contents that people gravitate towards. And that's why I keep advising people all the time. Look at your insights on your page. Look at the kind of contents that people gravitate towards to more. The more you look at that, it gives you a proper knowledge of what people like about your brand, right? And based on that insight, you can now start creating or curating contents that would align with what people like when they come on your page. And remember that the more your impressions go up, the more people identify with the contents you push out, the more your followers will organically grow. The more you have potential conversions, meaning more people will buy what you're selling. But the moment your relevant score begins to nosedive, you're posting contents that people do not like, you'd see that you're losing followership, you're losing engagements, because your page is becoming too robotic. People cannot relate to what you put out there. Always try to infuse human content in your page when growing your brand. Because if, for instance, you put a human being showcasing your product, maybe holding this heritage bottle, people can relate to this immediately, right? But if you were to put out a still image of whatever content or whatever brand you're trying to build, what will happen is people would forget that it's boring, so they move away from it as quick as possible. But for you to be able to get people to consistently gravitate towards what you're pushing out there, it needs to be relatable. And that's why most of the time I always advise clients that when you're trying to run an ad, it's always preferable that you use human content or human videos engaging what you're pushing. Because what will happen is, based off of that, you would see sincere reaction from your potential buyers. You'll see sincere reactions from people that say, wow, this is a good thing. I want to be part of it, or I want to buy it for my wife, I want to buy it for my husband or my girlfriend or whatever. Because at that point, it's not just a graphic image, it's not just a still picture. Come 2020, well, come in the next, by the end of this year, it's projected that a lot of data will be consumed on video. Now, look at what we're doing right now. It goes a long way to tell you that very soon, people will do more live videos like this. People will watch more, spend more of their data watching videos online. So if your content does not gravitate towards people who have video content, you're losing out on a huge chunk of people that would be able to buy the products you have. So for a lot of people trying to build their brands out there, you need to be able to start thinking towards the video content angle. Try as much as possible to have contents that people can relate to. Now, this would help you when growing your brands to achieve a very significant level of growth when you're trying to build your brand. And another thing I'll quickly touch on as well is make it visual. You know, I don't expect you to use, like I said, use stock images or images that just is black. It won't translate any feelings into you. And because of that, you would lose required level of audience. And also, part of the things that's also important in this new age and time, because to be honest, we don't know how long we're going to be locked up. It's important that we also make use of sponsored advertorials. Now, when I talk of sponsored advertorials, I'm saying, for instance, for Facebook, Instagram, you can sponsor your post, right? You can do a campaign and sponsor your post and target people that once they see your ad, they will be able to buy what you want. And why is this important? If you don't have money, to pay an influencer like me and you, if they ask us to bring money, they'll say, no, it's too much. What you could do is you can work within a budget. And this budget here is, if it's 5,000 naira, 10,000 naira, you know, whatever your budget is, you can comfortably curate a targeted ad to people that once they see that ad on a weekly basis, they would be able to patronize your business. Now, a lot of people take that for granted because they feel, why should I give Facebook or Instagram money? But the fact is, if you do the math, if you spend, let's say, 1,000 naira every week, and out of that 1,000 naira, you're able to get 10,000 naira in return. What has happened here is you've tripled, if not quadrupled, your investment. So it's only right for you to put out a budget on a monthly basis to say, you know what, to build my brand, I need to set out a certain amount of funds. Like maybe if it's 1% of whatever I make in a week. If it's 10,000 you make in a week, put that 1,000 aside. If it's 20,000 you make in a week, put 2,000 aside to run ads. So indirectly, you're reinvesting in your business. And what that would do is it would give you a wider reach of people that will be able to buy what you have. They will be able to engage with the products you have. Your followership will grow if you target the right people. Because if I see an ad, for instance, I like basketball. If I see an ad regarding sports, I'm likely going to take out time to look. If I see an ad regarding food, for instance, I love food, right? It would, top of my mind, I would glue to it. And the good thing about this is most of all this data is being collated. So the more time you spend on certain platforms or pages, Instagram picks you up and identifies you as a target audience for a certain kind of niche. So the moment you start running ads and you say, you know what, I'm interested in people who like food. I'm interested in people between the age 18 to 40. I'm interested in people who stay in Lekki. I'm interested in people who like burger. Automatically, what you're doing is you've created a niche on the target audience. And what you'd have done is you would have handed that audience to Facebook or Instagram to tell them, these are the people I'm looking to attract. By the time you run an ad for 1,000 Naira and you target it to Lekki region of the demographics of people you want to attract, you see that it will show me that ad invariably. Why? Because I spend most of my time looking at food posts. Do you get? So a lot of brands, a lot of people trying to build out their brands can easily tap into that. And to be honest, to me, I feel that's way cheaper than if you're going to place an ad on TV. It's way cheaper if you're going to place an ad on newspaper. And to be honest, who reads newspaper in Nigeria these days? Pretty much nobody. And most of the people we have here, they wake up in the morning, the first place they will check is Instablog to see what's happening in the news, or Tunde Edno to see what has happened, who has been arrested, what's happened in the UK. Or they even Instagram. So Instagram mobile devices is the new platforms that people can easily engage with. So you as a business or you as a brand trying to grow, it's important that you target and position yourself in such a way that people can easily find you. And once they do, you have everything in place from the kind of content you push out to keep them locked in. So for me, my job is easy for me to push followers or push people to see your page. But are they going to stay after they're done looking at your page? Because I'm not, it's not my place to get them to must follow you. It's your place to make sure that the kind of content you have on your page, on your platform, would be able to convert them to stay, because it's on you. So if you're building your brand and you're trying to grow your business, I always would tell people, look, do a self-assessment of your page. Would you buy from yourself if you were to see your page? And some of them were like, no. And I said, so if you yourself, you're not 100% convinced about buying from your page, what will make you feel that an independent third person would come, or a second person will come and look at your page and buy? The answer is no. For you to be able to convert them to buy, you have to also convince yourself that whatever you're putting out there is worthy of any dime you put it to, you value it at. So over the years, I've been able to understand that a lot of people are not aware of all this. So they make a little mistake here and there. But guess what? It's never too late, because you can wake up today, clean up your page, start afresh, make sure that your bio showcases what you're about, put out the right kind of logo there, identify the kind of contents that you can push that will get people to gravitate towards your brand. And what will happen is you'll start to see a significant level of change as against where you don't care. So you need to treat your online platform or your social media platforms like your office. Because when you wake up in the morning, be very strategic about it. You need to be able to say, you know what, this is my office. I want to sell XYZ. And because you want to sell XYZ, you need to put in the kind of resources, you need to put in the kind of content that will get people to buy,
Yeah. So
That's
true. That is
and
so
another thing
true.
I quickly want to add as well is a lot of people don't have like a social media guide or a schedule for their platforms. And it's important for every person trying to build their business. Take out time, bring out a piece of paper, draft out what exactly you want to be sharing on your platform. If it's on Monday, motivations every day, every Mondays. On Tuesdays, you want to do a little behind the scenes. On Wednesdays, you want to showcase the kind of products you have, but do not become so boring whereby people come to your page, you say, buy. What will happen is people get tired of stuff like that. I come on your page and all I see today, I'll see red shirts, 1,000 Naira. Tomorrow, come on. See this different shirt, different color, 2,000. What will happen is I will become bored. I'll become bored of your page, But if, for instance, you put on this shirt, for instance, and you have someone wear it, take a picture, it looks good, people would be inclined to want to buy. And what does that mean? It means that the human element in that has created some level of attraction on your page. Now, like I said, you might start off by saying, you know what, even engage one of an influencer, maybe contract me and say, oh, Edache, I like what you do. You know, I want to send you a package, for instance. And in as much as your end goal is to get me to post it, I forgot that we're in Nigeria. But hold on.
In Nigeria.
Okay.
Yeah.
I forgot that we're in Nigeria, but it's fine. You know.
Sorry.
Anyway, so for a fact is, if you send a pack of 3 shirts to me, for instance, and say, you know what, I like what you do, blah blah blah. This is what I do. This is my business. Here are some of the packages. Please enjoy. We love you. Whatever you want to do, and you send it to me, right? Without putting a clause to it and say, hey, I'm sending you 3 shirts, and I want you to post it. And I'm like, okay, in my mind, I'll happily decline because your shirt might be worth maybe 2,000, and that's 8K, right? Or 6K.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're giving me 3 shirts for 6,000 naira, and you're telling me to post on my page. Okay, what if I don't want? But if you use a kicking strategy and you say, you know what, Edache, I like you, I'm your fan, blah, 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 even if you're not my fan, and you send me those shirts, right? And I say, oh, thank you very much, you know, and you do not say, oh, but help me post. I will feel some kind of guilt within me, you know, and out of that guilt, I might just say, you know what, I'm going to post this. I like the shirt, I'm going to post it, you know, and that's another strategy that I have tried it for a couple of people and it has worked.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it would work for everybody, but it has worked consistently. I know we've tried it with Don Jazzy, you know, and it worked. We said, oh, Don Jazzy, we love your music. We're sending you a package, you know, enjoy, we love you. I don't know if the client really loved Don Jazzy, but he saw the package, he liked it, and he shared it across his social media. Now, Don Jazzy has way over how many million followers, right? And he did that and posted it for free. If I had approached, or if they had approached him saying, oh, Don Jazzy, I'm sending you a package, but please post on your page, the likelihood of him engaging with you would be minimal. But once you send a DM, and to be honest, a lot of all these influencers go through their DMs because to them it's also an office for them. So by the time they go through that and see your content, and they're like, oh wow, this page is good. They look at your products, oh, this is good. And you send a DM for them and say, you know what, I like you, or whatever, even if you don't like them. And you send it to them as a gift package or whatnot. You've exposed your brand to a whole level of clientele that might be interested in what you have, you know. And what that would do for you is it would open up your platform to more people to patronize you, you know. And I'm giving you people, I'm literally just telling them these tips because I have used it. It has worked for a couple of brands. So it's for you to adopt it, you know, and find a way through which people can align and relate to your brand.
Wow.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm talking too much, but
no, like you're speaking the truth.
You know,
this is wisdom.
Some of these things we've not heard of them before. Like you wouldn't even know. Like something like this that you just said now, because
managing your page.
Exactly. When you tell someone to, people don't like to be told what to do. They like to feel it and just do it by themselves with their own intuition. So when you're being implicit about something like, okay, hey, we love you, we love your music, or we love how you love other people.
So let me just give you a quick insight. You know, we're human beings first before anything, before social media even started, right? And people love people, you know. So as far as I'm concerned, you know, if you engage me as a brand and I can see for a fact that, you know, you're a growing brand, it's only rational for me to look at your page. A lot of people, they might not follow you immediately, right?
Yeah.
But I can guarantee you, if you're always on their page, commenting, relating, not just come on their page and drop ad, come and buy this, no. But if you're genuinely engaging on their post, especially if there are people maybe you like what they do or they're in the industry where you're trying to promote, and you're genuinely contributing to whatever they're pushing out, a day will come, they notice all these things. A day will come when, by peradventure, you're in their DM, they're already used to you, commenting, engaging on their platform. So by the time you're not offering a service or a product for them and say, They know that, okay, this is coming out from a place of, okay, yes, this guy is among the community I'm trying to grow. And because of that, you'll be shocked that some of them will help you put it out there for free.
Yeah.
But you on your own part, you need to also be ready. I tell a lot of brands and a lot of people trying to grow their brands, are you ready? If anything happens today and you go viral and you blow up, is your page or your brand positioned in that place where people will say, you know what, I want this brand, I want to work with this brand? And that's what a lot of people miss out, you know. And from time to time, I tell people, take out time, 10 minutes, 20 minutes out of your precious time, look through your content, clean out, delete, archive images or contents that do not necessarily reflect
need to be on your page,
So you might put it there for a day or 2 or 3 days, but after a while, you know, make a conscious effort, look through it, clean up your page, make it look attractive, so that if you're selling anything, it's to the point where people would be able to buy whatever you have.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, we certainly need to do that. There are a lot of good comments here and questions. Let me see if we can get any so they can just ask you.
No problem.
Okay, so Shadeo Adeni says, how do you target different demographics at the same time?
Okay, so the thing about it is you can target different demographics by creating different campaigns. So for instance, once you have, and a lot of people do the quick promotions on Instagram, for instance, you just go punch and promote. Yeah, in as much as that might work, but you also need to be able to leverage on Facebook ads. Now, Instagram is being owned by Facebook, right? So if I was to advise someone, I'll tell you, as against just clicking promote or boost on your page, go on your Facebook, go on your ad manager, and create an audience for each of those demographics you wish to attract. So you can have customer A, customer B, create a customer audience for each of those demographics of people you want to engage with. Because what that would do for you is, based on that ad, you know how this one is reacting to your ad. Based on this, then you can now weigh it up and say, okay, you know what? Since the fact that I'm making more sales from audience A or B, I'm going to leverage my ad or my budget to that place. So for me, I would advise people that are trying to create multiple demographics of clientele to first of all go on Facebook and create a proper campaign. And because Facebook has all these platforms from Instagram, Facebook, Audience Network, your banners, your feed, your Insta stories, you have a variety of placements where you can push your ads accordingly.
Okay. Maybe we should just take one more because one more, right, baby?
Or two more.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, let's take this one.
So Betad.Ankonga says, how do I
start up a business, especially if I have less than 2,000 followers and I'm not good at advertising?
Okay. So you have less than 2K followers. That's even, for me, that's even a lot, right? So out of that 2K or less than 2K followers, are they even buying, are any of those people buying what you have? So if they're not buying what you have, then it means there's a problem. Because 2,000 people or 1,005 people, for me, that's even a huge number. If you take 1/10 of that, for instance, let's say 20 people, out of 2,000 people, 200 people, 1/10 of that, 200 people buy whatever you're selling. Before you know it, that 200 people that have bought, you know, it might not, inquiries might come in and it might water down to maybe 100 people. Another further break again will come maybe down to 50 people. Now, if you serve those 50 people properly, what will happen is they become your ambassadors and your brand ambassadors, because what will happen, they would share whatever you sold to them on their page if they really like it, and it would cause a ripple effect on your page. Now, you do not need to know how to run advertising before you have the right kind of content on your page. Meaning, I should be able to look at your page and I would instantly be able to know if you're a kind of person or a kind of vendor that I want to do business with. So if I come on your page and you have 2,000 and I go on your content and I cannot quickly understand or relate to what you're selling, you've lost me as a client. So for that person, work on the kind of content. If you're not selling anything from your 2K, less than 2K followers, you need to work on the kind of things you push out there. And I'll personally want to take a look at your page and see what you're doing wrong. Maybe send me a DM and then we can take up the conversation from there as well.
Okay, that's cool.
You heard that, so.
This is, you know what Dacho is saying, teaching us today, something people pay a lot of money for.
Yeah,
so
a lot of money. A lot of money.
I mean, getting it for free. Come on. Wow, thank you so much, Dacho.
Let us
thank
take
you.
one more question.
Yeah, so we'll not stress you too much.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay. Let's do this one. Is it the same thing? Okay, no.
Kind of like the same thing.
So how do you maintain your consistency, especially when your audience isn't encouraging on social media? I think it's almost the same reply you've been given.
Yeah. So how do you maintain? So if your audiences are not relating to what you're putting out there, it means that you're doing something wrong, right? And why is that so? Because you have rare cases where you just wake up, and a lot of people do it all.
Network.
Like now, for instance, I have my personal page. I have over maybe 10,000 followers, right? And I wake up overnight and say, you know what? I want to start selling stuff. So I delete all my personal pictures, and then I convert my page into a business page, and I have tricked my audience, right? Because the people that were following me initially were following me because of me. But they've woken up one morning and they've seen that is no more there. Is now social store, whatever. Now I've tricked my followers because the people that were following me before were following me maybe because of my personal content. And now they're waking up to a different new business page showcasing products for sale, whatnot. They're not going to relate to that because that's not why they were following me in the first place. So I usually would advise a lot of people that you need to be very transparent in your dealings. So if you know you have a new business, as against converting your personal page that has followers, you need to inform the people following you that you need to inform them that your page, you've created a business page for so. For those who are interested in this kind of business, please follow my business page. This is what I'm selling. This is what it is. And then have it as a separate entity. But do not wake up and confuse and trick people to now follow someone. They're already following you, and they wake up the next morning, it's a business page selling
something
this and that. So a lot of people make that mistake, and they feel that their engagement level will be high. It won't be high because the original followers were following you because of the services or because of your personal content, not because of your business that you're trying to push out. So it helps a lot of brands to ensure that they're transparent. Tell people, inform them, oh, you know what? I'm starting this business. Please follow my business page. If you follow my business page, if you're interested in XYZ kind of product, it helps a great deal.
Okay, that's fine.
That makes sense.
Thank you so much, Dacho. The comments here are so positive. Everybody enjoyed the class, and we personally learned a lot. The notes is filled up. Our notes is filled up. Thank you so much. We appreciate you honoring our invitation. being in our lives today.
Yeah. We hope to link up and talk
you.
at length.
Yes, we need to have a personal link up so that you can,
No problem. I'm always available. I'm always available. And then my final note is that a lot of people need to have faith in yourself, especially when you're trying to build your brand. To be honest, I won't lie to you. I worked in the bank for 8 years before I left, and it took a whole lot of courage. A lot of people out there have that fear of the unknown. Like, oh, if I start up my brand or my business, will it grow? You have to have that positive outlook. It's not going to be easy, but I can guarantee you for a fact, once you start and you're consistent in whatever you're doing, it only takes a matter of time for you to have that breakthrough. And when it comes, people would say, wow, how did it happen? And at that point in time, you have a story to tell. But if you just expect it to happen overnight, I'm afraid you might not be able to sustain it over the long period of time. But if you take out time and you're consistent, and you're consistent in what you're doing, you'll find yourself building an organic following. You'll find yourself building clients and customer base that would always speak positively about what you're selling and pushing out there. And what will happen is, invariably, that small business that you think was small will translate into something mega for you.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Insightful.
Very, very
insightful. And at least now we know that anybody can make it as long as you have the right tools and you follow the right process.
Yes.
Yeah. You don't just do things haphazardly. You follow a sequence to do them.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Edache. We'll reach out to
you after
guys. Live. Thank you for having.
Thank you so much
for coming.
All right, then. Thank you very much, guys.
Yeah. Have a nice day.
And you too, guys. Bye.
Yes.
All right, bye.
Okay.
Hey guys, thank you so much.
Hope you guys enjoyed that first of all, and I hope you guys were taking notes because you don't get this kind of thing every day.
On the streets.
On the streets of IG, complimentary, free of charge. You don't. So those of you that just joined us, or those of you that need to recommend this thing to other people that might be interested, you could tell them to go back and rewatch the live.
Yeah, it's going to be saved.
I'm going to save it, so whoever wants to go and take down some notes or whatever, you can go and do just that.
Thank you so much for joining, and we hope that it helped you as much as it has helped us to know how to further our brand, Iykeresa.
Yeah.
And see you guys on Twitter.
See you guys anywhere.
Please, you guys should not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Yeah. I don't know why we always forget saying that.
Catching up with Iykeresa.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel because
make sure it's the right one. The link is on Teresa's Twitter page. Yeah, it's pinned. Is it pinned to you?
I think it is.
The link is in our bios anyway. IG. Check our IG bios. You'll see the link to the YouTube channel there. So
and for everyone that missed this, oh my goodness, I mean,
the neighbors, anyone that missed this, make sure you recommend this for them. I'm gonna save it on the live so you guys can watch it again. All right? Yeah. So it's been an amazing day.
Yeah. So it's time to go.
It's time to go. Anyways, thank you for staying with us and for loving us. Iykeresa loves you.
We love you.
Iykeresa to the world.
To the world, baby.
Paris, guys.
Bye, guys.
We had so much fun last night.
Oh yeah, it's true.
Last night was crazy.
Yeah, I couldn't even thank anyone because
I don't even think I've fully recovered from the fun we had last night. So anyways, we're taking it slow and steady. So we'll see you guys when we see you, all right? So for now, it's powers to you and yours.
Powers.